Oh, it's the sound of the wind. Christmas ambush! Have you seen my surprise shiny orb? Ooh, so shiny, wow. I've been feeling torn lately, you guys. I've been taking traditional employment more seriously. I got 2 jobs right now and I'm working on getting a 3rd, but that's just to get me by until I find something full-time that's more substantial in income. I've been backing away from old occupational dreams, and it's caused a bit of reflection in me about what I want out of life. What am I striving towards, and do I even still want these old things? As sad as it is, I do think part of growing up is changing what you want in life. In some sense, that's just a sign of maturity. In other ways, it's a resignation to the limitations of life. Getting away from that dream of self-employment, from that dream of participating in that great entrepreneurial tradition, I started wondering, well, what else can I do with my life? If I'm not going to do that, what else could I do? And is there a trap there? If I pick the wrong thing, do I get quagmired and, well, I get comfortable and I no longer want to do the things I want to do now, and is that okay? It reminds me of an old argument about death I heard in my philosophy courses. It always seemed a little bit like bum old bullshit to me. The argument goes! Bad things are things that harm people or cause some kind of negative impact to somebody. However, when one dies, one no longer exists. Therefore, since the person no longer exists, there's no victim left for bad things to happen to, and therefore death is not bad. For there is no application of bad things or negativity to an entity. For there is no more entity. Do you feel encouraged? Because I didn't. Well, why does this apply to this? Because like the dead man that no longer exists for bad things to happen to, if I grow older and I grow more comfortable in a different position and I no longer want the things I want, I am in a sense a different person, and my old self is no longer available to be negatively afflicted. How can I disappoint my younger self when my younger self isn't around anymore? To me, as a counter-argument to that, it always struck me as the case of the Christian that becomes an atheist. When you're a Christian, the idea of losing your faith seems like a horrible thing, but once you have lost your faith, then looking back, you think you're for the better. Your previous Christian self sees that as horrific though. And I think it's still reasonable for that Christian person to fear that case of having no faith. And I think you can reverse that too. An atheist might see faith as something that weakens them or some such, or maybe a succumbing to a vulgar superstitiousness. But once they've achieved faith, their attitude has changed and those old fears aren't there anymore. In this case, I think the devout Christian's fear is valid. A fear of what they may become. But not everything's so dramatic, especially in this case. Thought experiences aren't supposed to be one-to-one replicas of a situation. They're supposed to be similar. They're just supposed to be similar enough that you can gain some kind of insight into other things. It's not math. It's more wibbly-wobbly than that. There's still value in it though. Look, if you're looking to philosophy for just blunt, direct answers, you're looking in the wrong spot. You turn to philosophy because it's the only place you got left to turn to most of the time. No amount of science or empirical data will answer these questions for you, although they can still inform possible solutions. The thing is, you can't let the fear of changing stop you from changing, because changing is also how we grow. It's the fear of growth itself. Or maybe growth isn't the right word, maybe that's the ideal situation. The scary thing about time is that no matter what you choose, you're going to lose it, even if you choose to do nothing, which would be even worse. You gotta at least do something. Don't just let it go to waste. Make a decision. Live. Don't just toss it into a chasm. Disclaimer, I may have fucked up all those philosophical arguments, but I think it's their fault for being so goddamn specific all the time. Why have academic rigor when you could just have all the wibbles and wobbles? It's more realistic that way anyways. Practical. I'm sorry, is that a 4-letter word? No, it's like 7. Actually, I just counted. I think it's 9. Hey, that's Vlogmas! I'm making a video every day until Christmas, so turn back tomorrow and we'll hang out on the internet. I don't know, gotta think of something to talk about. I didn't even talk about what I wanted to talk about today. I'm trying to do all this shit. Do I do photography or video or get back into... I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. Maybe we'll never talk about it. Whatever. Goodbye. God! Why do they sound so... Pissed isn't the word, but something.